Hi, welcome back. This is Kelly with the Plant-Based Kitchen. During the Plant-Based Cooking Summit, you asked for lots of tips and tricks on different food items. So starting today, actually I'm going to start giving you probably over hundreds of videos on different plant items, which is just absolutely wonderful. And I really hope that you enjoy. So we're going to show you tips and tricks on how to store them, how to peel them, how to cook them, how to do all those kind of different things. So let's get started on the first one. So asparagus. So usually when you go to the store, you grab up your asparagus and you check it out. You either get the really thin stems or you get the kind of medium stems, and that really depends on what you're looking for. And sometimes during the part of the year, you really can't find anything that's nice and thick as far as asparagus. It's really thin. The peak season for asparagus, of course, is March through May. So when you start going in March into the store, you know you're going to get the fresh asparagus or the most fresh asparagus. So when you get it, the first thing you want to do is you want to take it out of the plastic bag. A lot of us I know are busy, so the first thing that we usually do is we keep it in the plastic bag, we keep the rubber bands or whatever else is around it, and we put it into our fresh lockers in our refrigerators. Not the best thing for asparagus, especially if you want to keep it for a couple days. If you're going to eat it right away, still probably not the best, but that is something you can do. So take your plastic off, get rid of these rubber bands. Sometimes you can do is you can actually cut off these rubber bands if you want, but sometimes they're nice to keep because you can use them for other things. Okay, so pull those off, just throw that in the trash. All right, then you've got this beautiful asparagus. So when you're looking at the asparagus, you want to make sure, especially when you're looking at the store, you just want to make sure that it looks like a bright, vivid green, and it doesn't have any bruises or any kind of white spots and things like that. Every once in a while, you'll get one that looks kind of a little wrinkly. That was actually in the middle. So when something like that, usually I just keep that off to the side to use that for soups. So then the other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure the buds, so the buds that are on the top here of the asparagus are really tight and closed. So if they're starting to open up, put that asparagus back. Let the store keep it because you don't want it. Okay? So it looks just like that. So when you're actually using the asparagus and you've got all these ends, the way to store it is you actually can take it, if you want, if the ends look a little kind of dry, you can always cut the ends off, but you really don't have to. So grab one of your mason jars or some type of a jar that's a little bit tall, put about 2 inches of cold water, and then you just put the stems in, like this. That's how you want to store asparagus, not in the plastic bag. So once it's in there like that, and I won't even use all of it just yet, then you can take your plastic bag that's here, or a bunch of plastic bags that you've washed because you kept them from the store, and then you just lightly open it up a little bit, put the plastic bag over that, and then you put that in your refrigerator. That's how you want to store asparagus. But remember, this water gets cloudy probably every day, so you're going to want to change your water. So just put in about 2 inches of cold water every morning or every night, change it out, and you can keep it up to about a week this way. Okay, take the plastic bag off. All right, to prepare asparagus, let's just say that it's getting ready for dinner. So you're getting ready to prepare asparagus. You always find that a lot of times these ends are really kind of chewy. So one of the things you can do, or one of the things that my mom taught me was she said, all right, kind of find where it's bending a little bit and then cut it off. Well, you don't have to do that. Don't need a knife. So when you just kind of feel a little bit, and then actually just right when you bend it and you're bending a little bit, the bottom pops off. So that's all you need to do. The great thing about that though, this is what you're going to want to steam. The part about this is actually just take some of the peeling off a little bit. So just kind of peel a little bit, get some of the toughness off that, and this is absolutely wonderful in soups. I'm going to throw it in here for right now, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this here in just a second. Okay, so that's how you peel them. So if you don't want to pull off all the stems on the bottom, and you don't want to do that, the other thing that you can do, move the asparagus over, is you just take a hold of the asparagus. So here's your tip and here's your bottom. Just take your peeler, go all the way down, 1, and just kind of turn it over, 2, and another one, 3. So you get these 3 strips that just came off from your asparagus. Throw those off to the side. And then you've got this asparagus, and when you do something like this, it steams up really well, and you can actually use the whole thing. So you're not wasting, which is really nice. Because there's nothing worse when I think about it. When I bought all this asparagus, let's just say this is the whole entire bunch. You got all this asparagus, and then over like that much of it goes in the trash. It's crazy, because you spend a lot for asparagus. The great thing right now, so it's April, it's on sale, it's like $1.99 each, which is wonderful, because you can pay $4 or $5 for this. Okay. So that's how you can get that going. The other thing, just throw all this out of the way, so we got the peeling. So to cook it, so when you're steaming asparagus, so let's just say that these are the different pieces, and I've got a couple other pieces that are in here. So let's just say these are all ready to go. I've either pulled off the edges or I've peeled them. So I've got them in my nice handy steamer, my steamer basket, and I'm steaming them all up. Steaming them all up like this. One of the things that they usually say is you want to shock the vegetables and stuff when you're steaming them. That way it keeps that bright, vibrant green color. Asparagus, you don't want to shock it. So steam it to where it's al dente, and then when you're done, you actually want to take it out, and you can either put it on a rack or just a regular towel or a white cotton towel, whatever you'd like to do, and then you separate them out. So when you're getting ready and you're cooking dinner and you want to have this great asparagus, all you need to do is just separate them out like that and let them cool a little bit. That way it keeps its color and it also keeps its flavor, because the water is going to take that flavor away from it. Alright, so those are the tips and tricks on how to store asparagus. Asparagus is expensive, so you definitely want to be able to keep care of it. So remember, always store it in a jar with about 2 inches of water, stems down into it, cover it with a light plastic bag. That'll keep it up to a week. Trim it if you need to, pull off the ends if you need to, however you want to do it. Steam it, but don't shock it in the ice cold water. Make sure you put it on a towel or some type of a rack, and then it's ready to go. So a quick recipe that you can use with asparagus, because you're probably saying, so what am I going to do with asparagus when I've got it? I love to eat it, but sometimes it gets to where I don't want to have to cook it and I don't have some kind of a dish I'm going to make it with. You're going to make a quick soup. So what you're going to do, this is my Instant Pot, so pressure cooker, which is absolutely wonderful. And I know everybody's going to ask, because I tend to probably slur the words together a little bit, so it's INSTANT, pot, P-O-T. Great device. So what I do is I get those little yellow potatoes and I put those in the bottom, so you don't even have to cut them up, you just wash them down. These are a little bigger because I didn't have the little ones, but that's okay. So I put those in there, and then what I do is then I take all the ends of the asparagus. So let's say that this is the one that's a little wrinkly. So I will actually crinkle it up into pieces. You don't even have to do that. Put all this wonderful asparagus in it. I put a whole carton of vegetable broth, a little bit of dill. I don't put any salt and pepper because usually when you pressurize, the salt gets even saltier. So I put that in there, and then you can put some onions, you can put other vegetables if you want. Put it here in your Instant Pot, put it on high pressure for 10 minutes, let it steam out and pressurize, and then when it comes out, use your immersion blender. And so that's just your little hand blender, which let me show you what one of those looks like. My little hand blender like this, the soup's ready, it's all been unpressurized. I just blend it up. Add a little bit of salt and pepper, whatever you want to add for spices, and voila, you have asparagus soup. So I hope you enjoyed that tip. Join me next time for more tips and tricks. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.